Good morning. Welcome to Weaved Web Recovery. Today's Sunday, April the 3rd, and we're going to start today with Just for Today. The idea of a spiritual awakening takes many different forms in the different personalities that we find in the fellowship. Basic text, page 49. Though we all work the same steps, each of us experiences a spiritual awakening resulting from them in our own way. The shape that spiritual awakening takes in our lives will vary depending on who we are. For some of us, a spiritual awakening promised in the 12th step will result in a renewed interest in religion or mysticism. Others will awaken to an understanding in the lives of those around them, experiencing empathy perhaps for the first time. Still others will realize that the steps have awakened them to their own moral or ethical principles. Most of us experience our spiritual awakening as a combination of these things, each combination as unique as the individual who has been awakened. If there are so many different varieties of spiritual awakenings, how do we know if we've truly had one? The 12th step provides us with two signs. We found principles capable of guiding us well, the kind of principles we want to practice in all our affairs, and we've begun to care enough about our addicts to freely share with them the experience we've had, no matter what the details of our awakenings are like. We all are given the guidance and the love we need to live fulfilling, spiritually oriented lives. Just for today, regardless of its particular shape, my spiritual awakening has helped me fill my place in the world with love and life. For that, I am grateful.
Grateful.
Now we'll read 24 hours a day. Today's AA thought for the day. When I was drinking, I was absolutely selfish. I thought of myself first, last, and always. The universe revolved around me at the center. When I woke up in the morning with a hangover, my only thought was how terrible I felt and about what I could do to make myself feel better. And the only thing I could think of was more liquor. To quit was impossible. I couldn't see beyond myself and my own need for another drink. Can I now look out and beyond my own selfishness? Meditation for the day. Remember that the first quality of greatness is service. In a way, God is the greatest servant of all because he is willing, always waiting for us to call on him to help us in all good endeavors. His strength is always available to us, but we must ask it of him through our own free will. It is a free gift, but we must sincerely seek for it. A life of service is the finest life we can live. We are here on earth to serve others. That is the beginning and the end of our real worth. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may cooperate with God in all good things. I pray that I may serve God and others and so lead a useful and happy life. Thanks, Bobby.
You're welcome.
Accepting our humanness. We finally saw that the inventory should be ours, not the other man's. So we admitted our wrongs honestly and became willing to set these matters straight, as Bill sees at page 222. Why is it that the alcoholic is so unwilling to accept responsibility? I used to drink because of the things that other people did to me. Once I came to AA, I was told to look at where I had been wrong. What did I have to do with all these different matters? When I simply accepted that I had a part in them, I was able to put it on the paper and see it for what it was, humanness. I'm not expected to be perfect. I have made errors before and I will make them again. To be honest about them allows me to accept them and myself and those with whom I had the differences from there. Recovery is just a short distance ahead. Yet today's reading is, there's a couple things in there, and I'll be real quick. The daily grind of being hungover, waiting till the evening to drink so you don't feel hungover, and then drinking just enough to be hungover the next day. And what a do loop. What a freaking do loop. Talk about selfishness. I mean, all you could think of was making yourself feel better so you can actually live your day, but that was hard. And the second thing is with regard to fear and expectations. I was on my OP class Friday, and I was talking about how great the week was. Because everything I feared never came to fruition. Because you always think worst case scenario.
That was the anticipation again.
Right. And so the counselor said, Well, when you were using, you had bad things happen to you because you created negative impacts. You know, people are going to react to you negatively. And so you're in that mindset of, you know, simply, you know, expecting the worst to happen because you created that situation in your usage.
Yeah.
And
good.
now when you're doing the next right thing, and I love that statement because, you know, doing the next right thing just, it causes other people to react to you in a positive way. And so people are more helpful and generous and loving. And you're like, you don't expect that.
Right.
You do not expect that to happen. And it happens almost every time. People are kind to me. People are happy to be around me. People have nothing but compliments to say about me. And I guess when you leave all that broken glass behind in your usage, you know, people react to that too. And you think you're in your own little bubble, and you just, it's insane. It is insane. So that's all I have to share. Thanks, Bob.
It's funny. We have a good time, right? I'm thinking about, we can be honest about who we are today, right? And how our lives are affected by which way we go. When we do good, we affect it because it's a domino effect. Then, and I'm thinking like in the 24 hours, it was speaking, and I'm going from, I'm sorry, not the 24, daily reflection. Right? I'm going from that one first because it was talking about recovery.
Yeah.
And we always want to say to be restored back to our original state, the way we were created, right? And I'm looking at how the words inside there was all our endeavors and all our affairs.
Yeah.
All, right?
Yeah.
Our endeavors,
Yeah.
our affairs, right? Practice these things, right? And it speaks like that. But how about we should be doing that in life, right? How about, listen, we own up to our wrongs, right? So we practice not doing wrong. You was just speaking on the way that how you was, you know, you drew the negative, you was attracting that. We attract good because we do good. If we practice these things, you understand what I'm saying, right? If we practice these things in all our affairs, right? All the time, when we practice them in the wrong, they was our affairs.
Yeah.
You know, they were the endeavors that we were led to, right? And we brought the things that came with it.
Yep.
We brought the things that came with it. So when we practice these things in all our affairs, when we practice these endeavors on a regular basis, on a routine basis, like when we practice brushing our teeth, you know, it's a good routine thing to do.
Yeah.
It's called hygiene, right?
Yeah.
So we do these things and we attract people, right? Put on fresh cologne,
Right.
deodorant,
Right.
you know, the soap and stuff like that. So we're attracting
Yeah.
as opposed to repelling. But how
Yeah.
about when we're doing it wrong, we're attracting the negative, as you spoke, the negative energy, right?
Yeah.
The negative aura that comes around with that, right? So I'm thinking about the endeavors, right? The principles that we practice on a regular basis in all our affairs, right? If we just practice, how did the man get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. If we just practice these things, whatever we practice is what we get the results from.
It's obvious, isn't it?
It's very obvious. And you were just speaking on that, and I was listening to you, and I was bubbling over because I heard you saying these things. And I was like, wow, recovery. We being restored back to our original state to practice with the goodness that was already in us, right? But we began to do the wrong, and we got the wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
We got what we asked for.
Yeah.
And you said that. Wow, why am I getting these things? Because that's what I practice.
That's right. That's
And I
right.
got
man.
it. So now we practicing the good in all our affairs and all our endeavors. This is what I want to speak about today, so we can understand when we practice good, we get good.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the results. Thank you for letting me share.
You guys have a great day. Thanks for listening to us.